promoting healthy and happy living for Irish people in London. This is the mission statement of the nonprofit Mind Yourself, where I will be interning while in London this summer. Mind Yourself's purpose is to support Irish people in London who want to improve or maintain their physical or mental health. They go about this with three means of support: one-to-one support, accompaniment to health-related appointments, and group activities. One-to-one support is when a Mind Yourself staff person sits down in a meeting with a client to listen and to offer information, advice, and support about health. These meetings can be held in the client's home, at the Mind Yourself premises, or a decided upon tertiary location. Accompaniment to health-related appointments is provided due to the understanding that going to doctors, especially in a foreign country, can be stressful, confusing, and sometimes boring. Clients can decide whether the staff person will wait in the lobby or join in a consultation room for support or to take notes. Mind Yourself staff is also available to help prepare questions prior to appointments. Finally, Mind Yourself provides group activities such as yoga, knitting, discussions, music, film, and walking groups to lift client spirits and prevent social isolation. Additionally, they have peer support groups and a mental well-being group. Mind Yourself acknowledges a wide diversity of Irish experiences and truly tries to find and combat root causes impacting poor health or sense of self. Additionally, while Mind Yourself works with all Irish people, they are particularly focused on supporting people who feel marginalized, or specifically the LGBT community, traveler communities, adult survivors of institutional childhood abuse, people of mixed heritage, non-denominational groups, and feminists. Due to its physical location in North London and the location of the majority of Irish communities around the city, Mind Yourself primarily works with clients from the boroughs of Islington, Hackney, Camden, Brent, Haringey, Westminster, Kensington, and Chelsea, while it will help others over the phone if need arises. The organization was originally founded in 1983 and at the time was called London Irish Women's Centre. They provided programs for women of Irish birth and descent regarding housing, education, culture, and social activities. However, in 2011, the trustees reevaluated the organization's purpose in contrast to a changed demographic of Irish community. The organization was renamed Mind Yourself, and a new focus was created around health inequalities in the Irish population, now including men as beneficiaries. Irish people have been historically marginalized and discriminated upon in Britain, although British people today may deny this claim. Conflict dates back to the 1500s when Ireland and England were under the same rule. The issues arose due to conflict of religion, wherein the Irish were primarily devout Catholic and English were Protestant. Ireland became a part of the United Kingdom in 1801, but after decades of conflict, the Anglo-Irish War occurred from 1919 to 1921, resulting in the partition of Ireland in 1922. In 1985, reconciliation began with the signing of the Anglo-Irish Agreement by both parties, declaring regular conferences between the countries. Migration to London from Ireland has happened in waves, specifically after the Great Potato Famine in 1840, after an economic depression in the 1920s and 30s, immediately after World War II, and after a 2011 economic recession. The Irish would often settle in poor, cheap areas of the city and became associated with a dirty, poverty-stricken lifestyle in the eyes of the British. In the 19th century, illustrators would depict Irish faces as ape-like to promote them as an inferior race. After the potato famine migration, it is estimated that over 100,000 people contracted typhus or dysentery, which is blamed on the Irish as well. This began the common practice of people with Irish accents or last names being barred from jobs, public houses, and employment opportunities. Signs reading, "Irish need not apply," could commonly be seen on businesses. More recently, a market research organization called Ipsos Mori found that an ethnic hostility still remains because since the late 1990s, people living in the United Kingdom listed race and immigration as one of the top 3 most important issues facing the country. In the past 5 years alone, almost 90,000 Irish people have migrated to London. The median age of an Irish person living in London currently is 61.7, the highest of any ethnic group there. Almost 1 in 3 Irish is over 65, compared to 1 in 6 in the general population. This accounts for the additional health needs Mind Yourself saw in 2011 when restructuring. Almost 30% of Irish report long-term disabilities, dementia is a growing problem, depression, social problems, and social isolation are a concern, and alcohol abuse is common. Even newer migrants arrive to London often unprepared to figure out the health system, and due to higher cost of living in London, find themselves in subpar living conditions, intensifying health concerns. In response to this issue, the Irish government enacted what is called the Emigrant Support Program, which provides funding for welfare, cultural, and business projects run by groups working with the Irish abroad. Additionally, due to the 1985 reconciliation between countries, Irish immigrants are allowed to access Britain's housing benefits and job seekers allowance. The Travelers, one of the marginalized populations Mind Yourself works with, is a cultural nomadic Indigenous minority group in Ireland that is discriminated upon throughout both Ireland and the United Kingdom today. It is estimated that 15,000 travelers live in Great Britain, one-third of whom lack access to basic facilities of sanitation, water, and electricity, leading to ongoing health problems, which result in men living 10 years less than their settled peers and women 12 years less. Finally, London is known for having the highest concentration of LGBT people in the United Kingdom and is often seen as having some of the highest worldwide degrees of liberty for LGBT communities. In 2010, the United Kingdom passed the Equality Act, which combines parts of the previous Equal Pay Act, Sex Discrimination Act, Race Relations Act, and Gender Recognition Act. The United Kingdom legalized marriage of same-sex couples in 2013 and has since equalized many other rights for the population. Immigration rights for Irish people to England differ from the U.S. in that there is free travel in the common area, whereas the U.S. requires strict entrance processes even for our neighbors. Additionally, while the U.K. is progressive in gender recognition rights for transgender populations, the U.S. is not. The British government even recently put out a warning to its citizens about travel currently to North Carolina and Mississippi regarding this issue. I am looking forward to learning more about these two specific populations in the context of the current social environment in Britain, and also seeing how Mind Yourself is meeting specific health needs. I will primarily be helping lead group activities and doing administrative work, which will allow me to both interact with clients and understand the organization as a whole. The majority of their clientele is currently the older Irish population, but they are excited for me to help reach out to younger in the area. The discussion question I leave the class with is, what kinds of differences and needs may a younger demographic of Irish that migrated after 2011 have from the older population of Irish, and how could Mind Yourself best prepare to reach or meet these needs?